my friends. Welcome to a special edition of Ignite Your Wow. The last few days, I've been part of this amazing movement. It's called the Clubhouse Women's Summit, and Tina D has been the leader of this wonderful event. It's been going 24/7. I think it's going through tonight, and I thought I want to get more people there. So if you're on Clubhouse, you can join the incubator. Oh shoot, I should have known this. Let me look real quick. I'm not prepared. I'm sorry. The Six-Figure Incubator. And Tina D. Lewis that is her club. And we've all joined that club, and we've been literally talking and sharing stories and giving advice to, new business people for the last 48 plus hours. And I am lucky enough right now to have Brittany Browne with me, who's been part of that room, some of those rooms. And I thought it'd be fun to share some stories of what's going on and learn about that summit, because it's been changing lives for 2 days straight now. So welcome, Brittany.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited that this is like, you literally got what, 2 minutes notice?
Pretty much.
Of course, when Tina tells you to do something, you do it. Absolutely. I've learned that. So why don't you, if you'd like to share what you shared in the Clubhouse so that people can kind of get an idea of, what's going on in that room, that would be great.
Absolutely. First, I want to just tell you who I am. I'm Brittany Browne. I'm a registered nurse in Orlando who's now a certified life coach. I'm currently stepping into entrepreneurship, which is a huge transition. So working with the Six-Figure Incubator, Tina D. Lewis, and just being a part of this summit is just so wonderful, because we had no idea how impactful this would be. I'm thinking it's just going to be, we're just going to be supporting women, and we're just going to be, coming together. But I've gotten so much information and being able to share my story, from my past life and coming into now being an entrepreneur. The people are pouring so much into one another. Such a positive experience. You just don't know what you're going to get. And hearing other people's stories, it's just amazing. And it just really shows how connected we all are, even as we're on different paths. So that's just what I've been experiencing. And even the men, from Les Brown to, we have Dan on there, Pillar, the tax guy. We have Jay Nolan, his wife, Lina. We have so many major people. We have Mo from, the LA Tribune. We have so many people that have such great input and value that are pouring into us that I couldn't even be more grateful. This is just phenomenal. I haven't really been getting much sleep, by the way, because I just don't want to miss it.
None of us have. I love that Tina is only allowing men who support and will protect a powerful woman. Because there's a lot of women sharing very intimate, personal details of abuse and neglect. And sometimes I think a woman would be afraid to share that in front of a man. So, and I've been in the room a couple times where people said, I've never shared that with any other person. And talk about a safe place to be sharing things and being lifted. Did you want to tell us your story?
Absolutely. When I was on stage and we were just speaking, and they were wanting us to pretty much give feedback, for what we've learned over the last couple of days. And I pretty much spoke and said, or what's impacted us. And I wanted to pretty much bring up the fact of me growing up in a single parent home with just my mom and having an absent father, realizing how important it is to have a male voice, like pouring to me and speaking to us women as a whole. That's so important. And I'm in no way trying to be a woman that doesn't need a man. I know I'm not searching for one, and I'm not, putting myself in that place, but having a man in your life or men pouring to you and lift you up is so important. Just like we need to hear them, they need to hear our voice as well. So that was a major impact for me. And just, they don't even know me. They don't even know me personally, and just seems so genuine with the amount of information that they're giving us. With us just being there. This is millions upon billions of dollars of just value that we're getting just by logging into our phone and being connected. Hearing other people's stories about their struggles and pretty much hearing people get free. With my background as a dancer, and then, becoming a nurse, that's something that I don't just go broadcasting it. However, that's my story. And that's what allows us to connect to one another, because everyone has a past. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's where you'll be forever. However, that was a means to an end for me. And I don't regret it, because I came out, and it's an art that I still use into my day-to-day life. And so I bring that with me. And so that transparency and hearing people share their story is amazing, because so many of us are walking around sharing like things that we want people to know, but really what brings connection is actually saying the things that you wouldn't want people to necessarily know. That is what allows other people to realize, wow, I'm you and you're me. I grew up without a father too. Oh, you know what? My mom passed away from cancer as well. So it's just created so much connectedness, and which is very important to me to be a private person. That's really what's really helped me just open up more.
I know that hearing other people that, went through something similar to what I did certainly made it a lot easier to share. And that's what it's a very open and safe place to share. And it's evident by the wonderful, strong women. I mean, there's women there that have beat adversity. There's people that have changed their lives for the better. There are people that are still in that spot, and they're, you know, they're I can't think of the word. They're just trying to get out. They're trying to break through that wall or whatever is keeping them where they are. And to have a place with so many successful, professional, empowered women, it's almost like at your beck and call. And
Yep.
I think there are more people getting helped than we realize. And so how do you feel about that?
I absolutely agree with you 100%. The reality is we are all people. Before we're business owners and millionaires and all of that, we're people. And regardless of how much money we make or how we may seem successful, we all are dealing with our own internal struggles. Like, we all have things that we're trying to work through as people first. So before we can be an entrepreneur, be a business owner, be a leader, we're still a person first. And we have our trials and tribulations and the day-to-day ins and outs. And so to be able to have a place in this way where a person may have been seeking business advice, and to be able to break free and get emotional support from complete strangers is pretty much what stuff like this is all about. It was so much division in our world and so many other not so good things that have been happening around us in our society. I mean, this was just so refreshing and just so inspiring, and it's just created more relationships, just following one another on social media, just giving that support. It's just opening doors all the way around. You never know how you can help someone else just by following them and seeing what they have to offer. Even if it doesn't go anywhere from a business perspective, you're building, your network. And a network isn't
Right.
always about just making money. It's about having support.
Right. And you may not need that person now or be able to give value to that person now, but down the line, it always comes back tenfold when you give. I believe in that. And just because you're giving now doesn't mean you're not gonna, benefit from it. Not that you do it to benefit.
Right.
I know I'm impressed how quickly they put this thing together. I mean, I
I
don't
know.
know. I think it was like really quick put together, and the fact that it's running so smoothly is just blowing my mind, because I'm probably the most unorganized person in the world. Okay, so now I want to hear what you're doing now, your passion, your wow.
Okay, my wow right now is I've experienced a lot of things from, like becoming a dancer at 17 and doing it until I was 21. I got married when I was 22 to a man that was 22 years older than I was. I was married for 11 years. I did recently get divorced in September. However, that's just what it is. My mom died from cancer about 6 years ago when I was in nursing school. So many major things. However, I still was able to just find my light. Like, those things did not break me as a woman. So it led me to realize what my gift is, which is pretty much taking a person's past and connecting that to their purpose and allowing them to embrace the journey of their life. So that's what made me kind of get into life coaching. There's nothing a person can tell me about their life that's going to make me judge them, because I've done it. I've seen it. I've been around it. And so my passion now is that it's pretty much inspiring women. I pretty much like to say, because I was a young wife, I'm looking at like 25 to 35-year-old women, just because of where I am and what I've experienced. Just showing women how to just be you.
Right.
Take those things that you hide and try to put in behind and walk in that. You don't have to wear it on your sleeve or wear it as a scarlet letter, but understand you went through that. It was particularly specific to your journey, and no one can live your journey for you. So that's pretty much where I'm going now. And I did just release my first book on Amazon. It's called
Nice.
Supernova, Becoming the Star of Your Own Galaxy. And it's 6 easy steps. Just, talks about self-love, self-discovery, self-awareness, just when you want to reconnect with yourself, not just through life's ups and downs, but if there's a time, sometimes we just feel like, what am I doing? What do I want? Who am I? So it's just an easy, quick read, like an interactive guide or journal that I just released on Amazon. That's what I'm doing now.
Can you put that on, Bruce? Can you find that so we can let our audience know about that? I know that a lot of people, like, some of them are ashamed of their past and don't want to talk about it. But if you look at it in a way that was a stepping stone to the woman that you've become, I mean, honestly, the way you feel about yourself today, would you change anything?
I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change. Even with people are like, oh, with your marriage, would you change it? No. Only thing I would say that I wish I could change is that I wish I would have taken everything in more. Like, because up until this moment, every bit of it has made me who I am. So I wouldn't change a thing. It's just, I was kind of going through the motions because we don't realize we'll never be back in a place again. We're always forward moving. So I would not change a thing. I'm so grateful and blessed just with things that money can't buy. I'm true to myself. And I'm open to learning and connecting with people. I'm trying to be teachable and keep an open mind and an open heart. So I wouldn't change a thing, actually.
So did you have the mindset that money equaled success to begin with?
I did not, actually. I did not know what success was. I didn't know. Well, okay. I didn't have the mindset of it because I didn't have a mindset yet. I would say that I viewed people who were successful was because, they had money. Now I view success as happiness, fulfillment, relationships, meaningful connections and relationships, and just gratefulness, and love. When I look at love, like, it's not just romantic love. It's loving people from where you are, not from where they are, and understanding everyone is growing at their own pace. So that's how I view success now. And I know if you operate in love, you're going to always be in abundance and prosperous. Things are going to always find its way back to you.
Yeah, I think, like a lot of other women, and I know I'm speaking for myself, that it was always, how much money did you make? How much money did you make? I'd be doing something that I was passionate and that I loved, but it was always judged, well, how much money did you make doing that? And it's so nice and refreshing to be with the norm not being that anymore, that the real happiness is in giving and loving, being loved, and sharing your life and sharing your talents. I think that's a huge thing that, I hope that anybody listening to this will get at least one thing out of it. Maybe that's it. Have you always trusted your intuition?
That's a good question. Let me see if this will help with the light. Oh, that's better. I should have been to that. I will say that I've always been intuitive to a certain degree. But as you grow up and you evolve, you learn, you realize that you weren't really following what you should follow as you evolve. But I would definitely say that I always had a feeling of something. The decisions that I've made in my life were not just because I just ended up somewhere. There was something, whether it was God, like basically lining things up to make something look appealing enough to where you need to do this to get to where you're going, but it's not going to break you. And so if I can be honest, I wouldn't say I was always trusting my intuition, because I'm just now really getting in tune with what my intuition is through the processes of growth and change and all of that, and self-reflection, looking at me, the introspection of, I have a lot to do with where my life is too, and the things that I've done as well. And I'm not a victim by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even put that out there. So no, I wouldn't say, because I didn't really know what my intuition was. That's why I probably was following it, but now I know what it is. I can't say that I was, because now I'm aligned with it. So now I know that I'm following my intuition. Yeah.
That's awesome. So some other girls have shown up, but I want to make sure that you were able to say whatever you wanted to and give your message. And if you want to stick around, we can have all of us on together, but I'm not sure. I think I'm interrupting your work day. So I want to make sure that I'm respectful of your time.
No problem. I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So stick around if you like. If not,
Okay.
I'm going to bring in, I think it says Kay Miller is here. So let's bring her on. Oh, it's Sheila. Hi, Sheila. Thank you so much. Oh, yes, we're all here. How lovely. So, Brittany started the show off with me because I wanted to get it going so more people could hear about this. But I'm so excited to have you guys with me as well. Who would like to start? What Brittany was kind enough to share, part of her story, and then how she is, really excited about what we're learning at this summit. There's so many lessons and tips, and people are opening up to like they'd never had before. And so, who would like to share first? Sheila? Okay. You gotta unmute. There you go.
I was trying to point to I'm Kay Miller. I'm not sure, but I'd be happy to go first. Thank you first, Kellen, for inviting me here on this week of women's empowerment, celebrating International Women's Day, and this international summit has just rocked my world. I've been so blessed to get to feel, I would say, community, and to feel the light and the spark from every single person that has spent these 3 days together. And I always tell my students, my clients, hey, we just really need to connect. And I don't think I've ever felt so connected into the collective as this, Kellen. It's been amazing.
I know it's like people are talking like they've known each other for years. And like we just met within this last week, right? But I feel like I know you and I'm not afraid to share anything with you guys. Do you feel the same way?
I do. And you and I share that love of pug dogs.
Yes.
And
my picture.
It's yes.
Fishing for a donut. That's my life.
There's the sisterhood that we have for all of these people. I mean, so many women that didn't have a voice before have literally been empowered and have found that power to speak their truth. And as a life coach, and just I teach a lot of metaphysical things, talking about your throat, and the power comes from your throat chakra. And when you can stand there in your power, you shine. And that I don't have to see the actual physical people in front of me. I can see the energy that they are just pushing through the Clubhouse room. It's phenomenal.
It's amazing. So is it Kim Miller? What's the K?
The K is for Keshell.
Oh, Keshell. Oh, that's very pretty. That's much better. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you stumbled across the room, were you invited, and some key takeaways that you've gotten.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having this and having me here. I'm one of those people that was dying to get on Clubhouse. And so I've just been hopping around and making friends with everybody. And luckily for me, Sarah actually pinged me into the room when they were planning everything. And I was like, oh, yes, I'd love to be a speaker at this event. And I sent all the DMs and the things they were asking for. And then I never heard anything. And I kind of forgot about it, but kind of remembered every now and then. I'd be like, oh, where's that thing? When does it start? Where is it? And so I have another group that I work with on Clubhouse, and we had an all-day event on International Women's Day as well. I started at, I think, 4 a.m. my time. I'm in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so I started on that morning, and I was going through the day, and then I was like, there's something else going on today. Where is it? What is it? Let me find Sarah. And so I looked her up, and of course she was in the room, and I hopped in, and I was like hopping in and out all day the first day. And then finally I was done with those other things, and I was able to just stay in the room the rest of the night, but I couldn't stay up because I also have my own rooms that I run at 5:30 in the morning every morning. So I was like, darn it, I have to leave. And so I left, and then the next morning I did the same thing, and I have another room that I normally go to with some wonderful ladies where it's the same kind of experience. I feel like they're my besties that I didn't know I had, that I always had. And so I was so torn on the second day. I kept literally hopping out of that room and back over to the event, and then back to that room. And I'm like, okay, I'm not missing anything here. Let me go back to the event. And it was such a struggle. And then today I was just like, forget it. I'm just going to stay here all day. So
I had FOMO yesterday because I had a lot of work I had to do. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do the night shift because I'm sure there's not many volunteers for that. And so I was there from 10 to 2. And you know what? The stories were just as powerful at 2 a.m. as they were at 6 a.m. when I went the first day. And I'm really excited about being a part of that. And she's calling it a movement. It's Tina D. Lewis. And if you're on Clubhouse and you want to join in for the last day, it's in her club is called the 6-Figure Incubator. And you need to join that club. And this isn't it. I've talked to her. She said there's going to be so much more. She's going to be.
So don't call it the last day, because I made that mistake and put it in my.
No, it's not the last day. It's a movement, and you need to go. Clubhouse lingo. You need to check the bell so that you always get notified when that room is doing something. And I honestly don't check many bells because my phone goes crazy anyway without Clubhouse, and add Clubhouse to it, and it's like I have to shut it off. But I did click that bell because I don't want to miss anything that Tina has, because I certainly don't want to miss it.
Definitely. It's been amazing. I'm so happy to be there. All the stories. I wish I was there last night. I did keep my phone on. So I kept it on and next to me, and I could hear things off and on. I woke up to the room. I was reading all the messages in the back end of what I missed last night. I was like, oh, I want to learn about LinkedIn and events. Like, I know a lot about LinkedIn, but not events. And so many great nuggets they're sharing in there. And beyond the nuggets, just like you said, the connection and the impact. And oh my, when Sarah said to say your name, because I don't use my name on social media, to stay safe, ladies. It's a very specific name, right? I was just like, I love it, because that's exactly how I felt when I took my name off of social media. I was like, my name is me. Like, I am.
Right. It's your brand.
What am I with my name? What do I do? So yes, I rebranded. I'm obviously Kay. So there we go. But yeah, that was a very moving moment. I was driving. I'm like, you have me in tears. I'm driving over my name, Sarah. Why?
I do think Kleenex stock went up during this event.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Or Sheila, unmute yourself and just join in whenever you want. There's no real formality to the show. It's just 3 girls chatting right now.
What was your tearjerkers?
I've gone through 2 boxes of Kleenex over the last 2 days.
What were your tearjerkers? I'd love to know.
What stood out for you?
Yesterday when Eva was on, I don't know if you got to. Yes. Oh my gosh! And then just the blessings. I'm thinking about it, bring the memory back. Have tingles all the way up my body because. I have seen graciousness in my life. I have gifted people things. I've been gifted and gracious enough to say, wow, I really need that help, But this girl's heart. And then when I believe her cousin is Elisa came in, and they just kept gifting and were so generous. And that has honestly, that has touched my soul. And I have never lost faith in humanity, but for goodness sake, last year was one big, pardon my mouth, big push and shove, right? I mean, it was like, what's going on with humanity? And these 3 days have just, now that we are aware of all of this connectivity and this energy, it is, you can't shut your eyes, right? And so for me, I believe it's our duty to now keep pushing this out to the universe and including as many people. Just like Tina says, it's a movement. And let's keep it going.
So tell me the truth, you guys. Are you worried right now that you're missing something?
Yes, I had to close the app, turn my phone over, and turn off the ringer because I get pinged constantly.
Mhm.
And Dan Pila was just on talking about taxes. And so, because we've operated many businesses, and my husband and I have been married 37 years, and we've been part of family business, and we own different property management companies now, and now I'm a life coach, and so I just need to get all the different, idiosyncrasies of IRS law.
Yes. So I'm sorry I took you away from the tax time.
Oh, it's okay. I'm blessed to get to share this platform with you, Kellen. And I saw you this morning with Amy Lee, and oh my gosh.
Oh, that
you
was so
too.
fun.
Oh, you were hysterically funny. I loved every second of you guys. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm horrible with names. Michelle.
No, it's fine. You can call me Kay.
What is it? I want to call you by your name.
Michelle.
Michelle. Okay, I had that. So tell me one of your stories that touched your heart.
Ooh, we already talked about Eva and the name thing. I don't remember anything else right now, but like Eva, like everybody was healing. I don't know if I'm echoing on your end. I'm on my end. So.
Maybe turn the volume down a little bit. See if that helps.
Yeah. Okay.
So last night,
everybody was healing in that moment from whatever they may have been struggling with. Like, it's beautiful.
I'm trying to think. Last night, I learned about sibling abuse. Like, there were women that were abused by their brothers' friends, and I'm like, who would have? I never would have imagined that. And hearing some of those girls, those women talk, and one of them was really young, and she was so raw and open and vulnerable, but she we all embraced her, and it was, to be there for someone like that it's a gift that I can never, I can't even explain how beautiful that whole thing was. And I'm not a mushy gushy person, but when I was there, I'm like, God, this is it was an eye opener for me, and it's opened up a side of my, I don't want to say personality, but just a part of my heart that I didn't even know existed. And that was, I think, the biggest takeaway for me is that, there's a lot more to my heart than I realized. And I was wondering how you guys, if that's something similar has happened to you.
That, just hearing you say that, Kellen, lifts my heart up. And just this whole experience of the ability for people to feel safe and in the now come forth and share what has happened to them. I know that some of the people that I've listened to have never, ever told anyone what they told to 300 people at the same time the first day.
Right.
And some of those things were just, I've always had this gigantic heart, but it's as if every aspect of it has filled up and just been touched. And one of my things that I keep in my heart and say is, therefore, with the grace of God go I. And as a human, I give thanks to those people that was the journey that their soul chose to learn whatever lessons they did. And I'm just grateful that they trusted us enough to be safe. So, yeah.
Well, and people are saying, this is the first time I've spoken in Clubhouse. And they choose their first time speaking in Clubhouse to share their heart. It's an amazing thing. Let's see. Do you guys have anything else you want to?
Yeah, I was just going to say that connection through Clubhouse is amazing to me. And like you ladies said, I understand that these things are out there. I've heard about them. None of them are new to me. I have read a story about a whole family with a sibling abuse thing, and that was just atrocious. I was like, wow. But I've had conversations with ladies about what they've experienced, and understanding it in a different way is what I'm going through in Clubhouse, because I've dealt with child abuse, I've dealt with domestic violence, but I haven't dealt with the whole, family incest thing, because my family was very, very protective and against that, because I assume it may have happened previously, and they figured out that we're not doing this anymore, because they were very, very vocal about it. The women in my family, like, if anybody does this, don't.
Right.
So I had never experienced it or known anyone personally that had experienced it to the point where they were sharing it about a family member and how that worked, and about grooming people and all those things that I'm learning about being on Clubhouse and having these women just pour out their hearts. And it'll be 40, 50 years, and it's the first time they're sharing something. And I just can't imagine
how do you hold that something
so long.
Yeah.
Well, and how miraculous, honestly, for them to be able to do it now.
Yes.
And it only took one person to start the wheel. And when that person allowed that gate to open, and I call it the guardian of the gate, she walked up, she pushed that hand button, she went up there and she said it, the story, she met the guardian at the gate, that fearfulness that you never, this is the worst thing you could ever imagine that you have to come do. And she did it. And that empowered, gifted so many other women to just, I don't even know how many, I've spoken a couple of times over the 2.5 days so far. How many women have spoken? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And I'm not just talking to Tina and Lina and them repeating, but it just, it is mind-boggling that we can be together in the same space and talk.
It is.
Especially after what we all went through last year, right?
Oh, I know. So I usually go about a half hour with this, so I want to thank you guys for being here with me. I also want to let Sheila, why don't you go first and tell us what you do, how you help people, and how they can get a hold of you.
Okay. I am a neuroenergetic practitioner, which means I go in and help you find limiting decisions, negative emotions, and things in your subconscious mind that are keeping you in the same patterns, getting you stuck. And starting next Monday, I am actually holding a free workshop that's all week long, 5 days. And you can you can register it at sheilahay.club. That will take you and get you signed up in that free workshop. It's called Master Your Mind, Create Space for Expansion. So thank you, Kellen, for inviting me.
And Kishelle, I have to read it after Kishelle. Tell us what you're about and what you want to offer, and tell us, tell my audience.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for this opportunity. Well, I'm Kishelle. I go by Kay. I am also branded as the health detective. I help people get to the root cause of their dis-ease so that they can survive, go from surviving to thriving, and help them with their emotional, mental, and physical health. So I coach people through finding out what's going on, and I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching. You can find me by looking up, obviously, KDM on Instagram, Twitter, any of those places. And you'll find a link where you can apply to see if we're a good fit to work together. Thank you.
Love it. So when we're done, make sure you guys put those links in the comments. That way people, when they watch this, they'll be able to join in and get all the wonderful expertise that you two ladies have to offer. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. And this special edition of Ignite Your Wow was to promote and let the world know about the Women's Summit Club. It's a Clubhouse event. It's a room. If you don't belong to Clubhouse, and if I know you, let me know. I will get you an invite because I have some extras, and I don't want anybody to miss out on any of the other wonderful things going on with what's going on with Clubhouse. I mean, this is just the tip of it, of the great things that are going on. And please remember, Tina D, her six-figure incubator is the place that you're going to find all these wonderful, strong women, and you can join in yourself. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.